Alright, what's going on, guys? We're going to be doing an underglow installation today. And if you know me from Instagram, you're probably thinking, why are we doing an underglow installation? You already have underglow. I did have underglow, but unfortunately, because I'm so low now, it got ripped out. So I reached out to LightingTrendz and they hooked me up with a new set, so we're going to be doing that today. I also got this LED snorkel lighting for the front, which I've been wanting to do for a while. I finally pulled the plug and I really like how it turned out. So we're here at my uncle's shop. I came here so that I could use his shop jack. Had to come to Jack's shop for the shop jack because I can't lift my car up with the normal jack. So he's helping me today, and he's got this beautiful Impala over here. What year is this Impala?
65.
65. Look at this thing. This thing's sweet. Got the white interior. Ooh. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lay out the underglow sorted by from the side to the front, and then we've got the wires in the middle. So this is what we're working with. And before, when I had underglow, I had it wired up to the trunk battery, but this time we're gonna do it to the hood. So we got our long LED strips here for the sides, and then for the back and the front we got the shorter ones, and then we have the corresponding wires that they sent in these packages. First, we're gonna hook everything up and make sure it works before we mount this on the car. So this piece is what hooks up to the controller. So we're gonna plug that into the hood. And I already have a LightingTrendz controller for my Demon Eyes, which works the same as this. So I'm gonna use that, and we're gonna plug that in to this little splice connector. All right, so this should give us the power we need to hook up the underglow. So we hooked up the underglow strip to this wire, and as you can see, they did turn on. They're orange just like the snorkel lights because they're both connected to the same controller. I hooked up all 4 light bars just to make sure all of them are running, and it looks like they all work good, so we can go ahead and mount them on the car. We're gonna unplug this from the front bar and then feed this down into the engine bay so that the wire will come down here, and then we can hook it up from the bottom. Under the car, there's this little hole right here. That's where I fed the wire through. And it actually wasn't that difficult. I just kind of dropped it down and it fell pretty much where it needed to be, and I pulled it through with my hand. So here's where we'll hook up the front bar, and we'll go ahead and get it mounted. Unfortunately, on these bars, there's no holes to put the screws through, so we're gonna be using these little 1/2-inch pipe clamps. We're gonna put them under the car and then just put 2 sheet metal screws in each hole, like so. And I've already had underglow, like I said earlier, so these holes were from my last set. So we're gonna make sure that we don't hit those. We're gonna put them probably a little bit further back. That way you can't see them whenever you're just looking at the car. All right, so first light is secured. Went ahead and plugged it into the long light on the side, and we're getting ready to mount that up now. Got the side mounted, so if you come up under here, there's like a little lip where you can fit this bar perfectly into, and so we basically just put that up in there, and then instead of using those clamps, there's not really enough room, I went and bought some of this right here. It's just metal strapping. Some people call it plumber's tape, but that way it gives us a little bit of wiggle room to where we can form it how we need to. Once the sidebar is fully mounted, go ahead and connect it, and then run it to this one on the back, and then we mounted it right here underneath where my diffuser is. There's kind of like a flat area here, and we just use those clamps. Now when you're connecting the sides to the back here, it's probably a good idea to loop this wire up over the exhaust. That way, whenever you're done, you can kind of zip tie it to the top and keep the heat off of it. All right, once you've got the underglow hooked up on all 4 sides, you're gonna wanna go around, and you're gonna have a lot of excess wiring. So you're gonna wanna bundle that together and zip tie it very carefully up under there. This is super important because if you don't, then the wires can come undone and then drag on the road while you're driving, which is what happened to me the first time because I didn't zip tie them properly. So make sure they're all secure, otherwise your underglow can get ruined pretty easily. All right, we got all the excess zip tied. Let's go ahead and set the car down and see how it looks. The car is down. We're gonna tighten up the lugs and then drive it out in the driveway and see how it looks. Here we go. We are back in business. Alright, so you just pull up the app. So here you got Firefly Underglow, connect, and then you can change it to whatever color you want. And then it's of course changing my snorkel lights too, because I have them hooked up to the same controller. But there you go. Well, that's gonna do it for the video. Hope that some of you found this helpful, and shout out to my uncle for letting me use his shop. I'll catch y'all in the next one.